So I saw recently that David Schwimmer from Friends said that he was talking about the show, and I guess the subject of reboots or bringing the show back came up, and he was thinking, well, you know, since he, and I guess I never really realized this, but he said that he always was a voice for bringing diversity into the show, because the show famously kind of was just six white people, and the show kind of was just around their lives, so like there weren't a lot of black people in the show or anybody of color really. But he pointed out that his character dated an Asian woman, his character dated a black woman. Like, he was always trying to bring more people of different backgrounds into the show. So I was like, okay, well, I watched the show, so that's true. He did have other cultures in there, at least with his character. So, but he was saying that maybe there should be an all Asian Friends or an all black Friends. And, this is one of those situations where I like to say where it's like your heart's in the right place, but your foot's in your mouth. Because it's like, I think most people, or at least most black people, know there was a black Friends. It was called Living Single, and it was on before Friends. We watched it, and then Friends came out afterwards. A lot of people say that Friends was actually based on Living Single. It's like people saw Living Single and they said, we want to have a show similar to that. So they made Friends. So in a lot of ways, Friends is the white version of Living Single, not the other way around. So it's like, I think that's the thing where a lot of people saw that, and even people from the show actually came out and said some stuff about this. But it's like, I feel like people, I think they, it's not that we're upset or mad at what he said, because, we get, like I said, his heart was in the right place, I suppose. But it's just, it kind of keeps bringing in that whole thing where it's like, even when stuff exists, people always say, oh, well, do your own thing, have your own thing. Yeah, we have our own thing. It's like, even when you have your own thing, it doesn't get any credit. It's like, yes, I understand that Living Single was not as huge of a show as Friends was, because Friends was like this huge thing, and the actors were being paid millions of dollars per episode, and they're still getting paid millions of dollars a year for this show. That's like, I think it's on Netflix, and people are still watching it, generations later who weren't around when it first came out and were watching it. So it's like, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, to just act like Living Single didn't exist, or to just forget about it and then say, oh, well, instead of basically giving credit to the shows that existed, or giving credit to the concepts that are out there, let's just make a black version of this thing. And it's like, no, I don't really agree with that. Honestly, I don't even think we should do an all black Friends, or an all Asian Friends, or all Hispanic Friends. I think just have a group of friends, and they all are different colors and different backgrounds, or maybe you have different guest stars. Like, basically, everybody doesn't have to be the same thing in a group. Like, you can have a group of friends who they're all somewhat different, or friends of friends. I've noticed that a lot too in a lot of these shows, where you have the core group of friends, but then there's also other friends that pop in that are whatever. So it's like, you can have other groups. I think the show, I've never really seen it, but they said the show Modern Family is like that, where it's like you have a family and it's like all these different people in there, and it's like, you just do something like that, where it's just everybody, just have a group of people and call it pals, call it buddies. I don't know, but just, that's just my thoughts on this, because I get people being upset for him kind of forgetting that. Well, I don't know if he forgot, or if it's just a thing amongst friends where they have to always just kind of act like they don't know that the show that they got their idea from existed. So I don't know if he just wanted to be like, oh, well, I can't actually mention Living Single, but it's like, Living Single did exist, and it was, I guess some people call the black Friends, even though, or some people will call Friends the white Living Single. But it's the same thing like with Martin and Seinfeld, where the shows were very similar, because I guess it was both shows about a stand-up comedian and his group of friends. So it's like, you'll always have these shows that are like, oh, well, this was the white version, or this was the black version, where it's like, I watched both. I watched Martin, I watched Seinfeld, I watched Friends, I watched Living Single. Like, I don't mind checking out both things, and I think that's something that, at least now, as we keep saying every year, we have to keep adding a year. It's 2020. Let's kind of get out of this whole, mindset and let's move on to just reality, because there's a lot of groups of friends out here who they're just mixed. They're just a mixed group of friends, and let's kind of just focus on something like that. I know some people will say, oh, that's being PC or trying to ticket different demographics, but no, that's reality. Like, diversity is natural. Like, everything is not always uniformity. You have to force uniformity. Diversity is just natural. Things, sometimes if you just let things happen without trying to force it, it will be diverse. That's usually how things work. Without, if you don't exclude everybody that comes to your group, if you don't only hang with your small bubble, then your social circle will become very diverse, just naturally. That's just how it is. So maybe having a show that reflects that would be cool. But that's just what I'm thinking. If you have any comments or any thoughts about this, leave the comments below, and it'll be interesting to see what anyone else thinks about this. So